Almost every rite of passage is a little bittersweet.
We should have practiced this.
This milestone made the Hendersons toss and turn.
We couldn't get her to go to sleep last night.
Michelle once feared this day would never come.
I'm going to try to do a little braid here.
Selah Grace is starting the first grade.
Dana Elementary Wildcats.
She'll leave those hermit crabs behind.
This one you can hold like this. But the other one you can't because it'll pinch the fire out of you.
So what shoes are you going to wear?
My Converse.
Selah's cancer-free after a nearly 2-year fight.
Her personality has never wavered.
Her faith.
And Father, we pray that you'll be with Selah, calm all of our nerves.
Selah's more than strong enough to face everyday concerns.
What are you afraid of?
How people are gonna be towards me.
Oh my goodness, they already love you.
All she needs to get her through uncharted territory. Now it's her dad, Brandon's job to get her to school.
And you have a peanut butter sandwich and your Slim Jims.
You know, have the peace of mind that we do get to see her grow up.
He's long dreamed of this morning routine after Selah Grace was diagnosed with stage 4 neuroblastoma cancer. She's had tumors removed from her lung and adrenal gland and has been through 5 rounds of chemo.
After the long 2-year battle with cancer, you know, she finally gets to go to school and be normal.
After so much struggle, this day of firsts leads to another first.
That's a Dana fire truck.
Dana Fire Chief Jimmy Womack has Engine 19 ready to go.
Just want to give us an opportunity to take her to school on the fire truck on the first day.
Well, I'm excited now. My nervous goat went away. Turn the sound on.
Seeing her sit there like a big girl. Once he turned the siren on, it was like reality started hitting me and emotions.
The reality is she's finally arrived.
I'm good. You're great.
A new kindergarten girl?
I'm in first grade.
Good morning, Wildcat. We are so excited that you are here with us.
Within minutes, her first assignment.
If you can draw a picture of what you look like today.
That's me. That's Sarah Henderson.
You were such a big girl.
This is what a 32-second hug looks like. Just long enough to give Selah second thoughts. Then Michelle's maternal instincts made her day.
You're gonna do great. She's like a little butterfly, and now she gets to fly. And so many children with cancer don't get this opportunity. All right, 7 minutes. You're gonna have a great day. I love you.
And after that fist bump, Selah Grace spreads her wings. A new beginning that, in some ways, is beyond bittersweet.
Every time I think about, wow, she's growing up.
In Henderson County, John Lee, News 13. In downtown Asheville, we all look to signs, with everything from words of welcome to warning. Some spell out the letter of the law, but the ones that stood out this Monday point to outrage across the city, drawing attention to a topic hotter than hot sauce.
Yeah, you're right.
No jaywalking, it says.
Violators are subject to abuse by the Asheville Police Department. Wow.
Yeah, oh, it's a fake sign.
We saw 3 downtown, one near Pritchard Park.
Well, I don't think that's appropriate.
Another on Broadway, and the third off Biltmore Avenue.
I wonder who put that up there.
All of them bolted to existing street signs in response to the APD video released by the Citizen Times of an officer beating and tasing a man who was stopped for jaywalking.
I think it's just terrible what happened to that young man.
On any given day, Danielle Kemp says he could be that jaywalker.
I know that guy. And
so you feel like it could have been you then?
It could have been me. It could have been my brothers. It could have been my uncle. It could have been my sister. It could have been my mama.
But some strongly disagree with blasting the entire department.
I think it's wrong. So in so many ways, I have friends that work for police department. They're not violent, so you're generalizing, and it's not good.
It's ridiculous, I think, that you'd have to go this far to say the police department is going to abuse you.
According to the mock sign, abuse may include but is not limited to
punches, kicks, and a billy club, strikes to the head, torso, and extremities. There's a lot of truth in that sign.
Many would argue it's a sign of the times, which they hope leads to a sign of progress.
And maybe this police officers get a little bit more training.
When it rains, it pours. It's a phrase that transcends weather. Here in the mountains, the deluge has been relentless.
Stand by A, sound out.
Severe weather only amplifies the mission of local news crews.
We are tracking heavy rain as the outer bands of Alberto continue to move into our region.
Let's hear this.
This week, all of us in the industry were shaken by the worst-case scenario, when people who report the news become the news.
Roll red.
John, we're shattered, devastated.
And it is with heavy hearts that we must also report on the tragic deaths of our news colleagues from WYFF, Mike McCormick and Aaron Smeltzer, who were killed while covering these storms in Polk County.
On Monday, WYFF reporter Mike McCormick and photojournalist Aaron Smeltzer were covering conditions in Polk County.
It's not real to us yet.
They were driving on 176 when a tree toppled their vehicle. News 4 anchor Michael Cogdill says it's still unthinkable.
You have a far greater chance of being struck by lightning than having that happen. That old tree so far off the road, the guys were going down the highway and it falls with that exquisitely dreadful timing.
Now, those journalists committed to storytelling are remembered for their compassion.
They were so deeply human.
Just last week, Aaron posted this drawing on Facebook. It captures a smiling news-gathering duo. Individually, they brought special skills to every assignment.
It was a remarkable reporter, one of the best I've ever known.
Digital managing editor Carla Field tells us Mike was far more than just a reporter. She was sure he'd have his own cooking show one day.
He loved to host parties, and he was an unbelievably great cook. He was the host with the most, for sure.
And every year, her dear friend absolutely owned Halloween.
They were outstanding Halloween parties. He had such respect for people and such love for life.
Those fun memories make us hunger for more.
Clever, inventive, amazing hors d'oeuvres. It's just too much fun.
So it seems surreal to now choose a photo for Mike's obituary.
Picked this one because Mike loved the outdoors.
The past tense can be profoundly painful.
This is where I'll have a hard time talking because it's just such a loss of friendship. It's such an amazing human being. It's a real tragedy for all of us to not have him to share life.
Much like Mike,
get tuned here.
Aaron's personality took people to a happy place.
Yeah, that was one of the first connections that I made with Aaron, talking about bluegrass gospel music.
Fellow WYFF photographer Cody Sloan says Aaron recently watched him perform with the Mountain Bridge Band.
Contagious smile. He had a smile that could stretch across the newsroom.
And Smeltzer had a lot to smile about. He and his fiancée Heather were to be married in August. One more layer of heartbreak at a place where hearts are shattered.
It's a trying time, not only just emotionally to think about the loss, but here we have to work here every day. And this was a part of Mike and Aaron.
By nature, the news business doesn't stop. The signs of sadness include the flowers in the newsroom. Then there's Mike's painfully empty desk.
But I've seen how it has shattered this place. It has shattered this family. And we'll never be the same.
We have live team coverage on the dangerous conditions.
WLOS is just 51 miles from WYFF, yet sometimes we feel oceans apart. The Memorial Day tragedy is a reminder of how close we really are. When it comes to perspective, sometimes when it rains, it pours.
And Polk County is seeing more heavy rain.
In Asheville, John Lee, News 13.